Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from Apple Valley. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Woo! Rumors of wars, yeah?
Yeah, this is pretty scary stuff, just like it was the last time
Straight
we
from
talked
Russia.
about it, right?
We've talked about this subject, both from the biblical sense and regarding World War III. But every time we say it's getting closer, every single time.
We're dealing with a really unhinged adversary here. So,
Yeah, definitely.
they're just even if they're just throwing threats out there, that's not healthy for
It's provocative.
the ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Well,
not
are they
good.
bluffing? Or are they going to follow through?
I don't know.
It sounds like Russia has been watching our show because Russia said the West, meaning UK and United States, was playing with, and Germany too, was playing with fire by considering allowing Ukraine to strike deep into Russia with U.S. missiles, and cautioned the U.S. on Tuesday that World War III would not be confined to Europe.
Yeah, well,
remember they targeted cities in Europe.
I would have to say, again, I'm not a military guy. I've mentioned that many times, but I would have to say that would not be healthy for Russia, right? Or certain parts of their
it's mutual
group,
assured destruction.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, definitely not for us either. But I mean, obviously, we're not gonna not retaliate or do something back, right?
Let's do a segment on U.S. nuclear capabilities, and then I'll try and research UK's nuclear capabilities and just see what we have for that mutual assured destruction that prevents others from attacking.
I mean, we're in agreement, right? There's a lot of loose cannons in the world that have nuclear capability, and that puts this threat on a different level. So
yeah, definitely.
So anyway, Sergei Lavrov, who has been Putin's foreign minister for more than 20 years, which that in itself is pretty surprising, right?
That is crazy. He must be loyal.
Exactly. So said that the West was seeking to escalate the Ukraine war and was asking for trouble, quote unquote, on that, by considering Ukrainian requests to loosen curbs on using foreign supplied weapons. Here is Lavrov's own words. We are now confirming once again that playing with fire, and they are like small children playing with matches, is a very dangerous thing for grown-up uncles and aunts who are entrusted with nuclear weapons in one or another Western country.
What is he? Is he doing a Kamala?
Yeah,
thinking without speaking without thinking.
Maybe that was a translation.
It could be a translation. I don't know. Aunts and uncles and children. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, my experience with aunts and uncles is, I mean, they're not much more responsible than part of my family than and maybe yours too, since we're cousins, right?
Do you think that your nephews and nieces say the same thing about you?
Yeah, they might. They might. So, these guys are entrusted with nuclear weapons in one or another Western country. Americans unequivocally associate conversations about a third world war as something that, God forbid, if it happens, will affect Europe exclusively. And the word world, right? So we're going to get drawn in, or we're going to be involved because we're defending, or NATO or whatever. I mean, it's just not going to be a pleasant thing. So usually not good for the economy, as they say war is sometimes.
Well, I thought war ramped up the economy.
Yeah, whatever.
With factories and stuff.
Know. Well, there'll be probably a lot of rebuilding of factories
afterwards.
Because I mean, conventional war, if there is such a thing, right? I mean, that's nuclear. Like I said, just takes it to another level.
Usually, the world war started with major powers, like Germany and the United States and Britain, and not Korea, not Vietnam. Right. Those were small countries.
Yeah, those people were just caught in the middle, right? I mean, they were the playground.
The proxies picked sides.
Yeah. So
Lavrov added that Russia was clarifying its nuclear doctrine. Check this out. Russia's 2020 nuclear doctrine sets out when its presidents would consider using a nuclear weapon broadly as a response to an attack using nuclear or other weapons of mass destruction or conventional weapons, quote, when the very existence of the state is put under threat. So the very existence of the state, isn't that like Moscow or major cities in Russia? Like
Would you think that Ukraine right now
like
might
Hitler
be?
invading? I
Yeah.
mean,
Russia invading?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
yeah. It's
But Ukraine invading one province when they've invaded 5 provinces? Come on.
yeah. They're again this out of control. That country is out of control. So it's too bad the people don't
Well,
have
the
the
leaders.
means.
The
Yeah, yeah,
leaders.
exactly. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. The people I would imagine, like we talked about even in Ukraine, right? You said the people there are really good people. I mean, I'm not in uh, I'm not trying to defend them, but they're defending themselves, right? I mean,
Right.
they didn't start this thing.
Right.
Life was going on there. So, but anyway, so Russia has said that Western weaponry, including British tanks and U.S. rocket systems, have been used by Ukraine and Kursk. Kiev has confirming using U.S. Is that
HIMARS.
HIMARS? That's a type of missile
Yeah, it's a type of missile.
to take out bridges in Kursk. Washington said it was not informed about Ukraine's plans ahead of the surprise incursion into Kursk. Oh,
Right, okay.
okay. I mean, I guess that you don't tell everybody anything, but everything,
Guess.
but whatever. So, the United States has also said it did not take any part in the operation.
Hold on, listen carefully because we'll talk about this later.
Yeah, Putin's foreign intelligence chief Sergei Narishkin said on Tuesday that Moscow did not believe Western assertions that it had nothing to do with the Kursk attack. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov said the involvement of the United States was an obvious fact.
Obvious, okay.
Okay. Remember, it was Rybakov that warned specific cities in Europe would be nuclear targets of opportunity.
Yeah,
Again,
he pointed out the cities.
Yeah,
Paris,
remember that.
remember?
Again, that's a pretty serious threat, right?
And he was in the government when he said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
it is.
The
Yeah,
New York,
this is nuts stuff.
The New York Times reported, now I consider them a rag, but the
Right.
New York Times reported that the US and Britain provided Ukraine with satellite imagery and other information about the Kursk region in the days after the Ukrainian attack. I can believe that. I could believe that. It's not far-fetched, right? The Times said that the intelligence was aimed at helping Ukraine keep better track of Russian reinforcements. That might be spin, but it could be real. Might be spin though. Somebody has some splaining to do, Lucy.
Yeah.
Is Russia bluffing? Are they going to follow through with nuclear attack?
Well, let's hope not, right? I mean, let's
Yeah.
hope they're bluffing, but I mean, you don't know. Like I said, these people are kind of unhinged.
What does Putin want?
Yeah, exactly. Because this war thing hasn't worked out for him, right? So,
Not so far.
speaking in June ahead of a peace conference in Switzerland to which Russia was not invited, Putin set out his conditions for a final end to the war in more specific detail than any previous time since he launched the full-scale invasion of Ukraine more than 2 years ago. As well as withdrawing from the 4 occupied regions in eastern and southern Ukraine, Putin said Ukraine must demilitarize and that Western countries must lift their sanctions on Russia, which have damaged but not crippled its economy.
Okay, so Ukraine has to withdraw from their territories that Russia occupies, right? I mean,
Yeah, pretty unreasonable.
Russia can't say that about Kursk because they've already fled, right? So,
yeah,
it's not Russia occupied Kursk; it's Ukraine now.
Right.
I mean, this is ridiculous. We
War.
need you to pull out where we're occupying now, and reduce the size of your country.
Blood and treasure, right? That's what you give up.
These conditions represent Russia's failure to achieve its original war aims when Moscow believed it could capture Kyiv in days. Remember that?
Yeah, well, it's been a few.
And the rest of Ukraine in weeks. They've never fought with the Ukrainians or fought alongside them. I have. They scrap, man. They are tough.
You've said that before.
They scrap.
It's obvious,
And-
right?
and
I mean, here's the
what we've
little tiny
reported on.
country against a so-called world power. I mean, it's obviously exposed Russia's capabilities.
Yeah.
Pretty revealing, I think. So
Nearly 28 months later, Russia occupies around a fifth of Ukrainian territory, including the Crimean Peninsula it annexed a decade ago. Do you really think Russia is going to stop after occupying and acquiring all this land? Do you really think they'll stop?
they don't show signs of that.
If a Republican president is elected, it'll pause, like it did with Trump. If a Democrat is elected, Russia will press the attack until it's captured all of Ukraine. Russia has over 500,000 dead soldiers to account for this folly. I mean, it's folly.
That is sad.
It is sad. I mean, this and it's civilians and the schools and apartment buildings that have been bombed. It's
what a waste, right? I mean, think of all the people that are being affected by that.
Why was this done?
Yeah.
Started with Crimea. Why?
Because the guy's, he's twisted. He's got this, I don't know, let's leave some kind of legacy.
I think it went back to the Orange Revolution when they took the Moscow puppet out and voted for democracy. Was that in the 90s? Yeah.
Well, it's definitely
mid-90s.
It's definitely been known that Putin was not happy about the fall of the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
You know, he was a player involved in that, right?
Yeah, and he jockeyed himself.
Yeah. And so
we did a little study on Putin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
he jockeyed. He speaks fluent German. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes he does his speeches in German when he's talking to the German people.
I don't know. Weird dude.
Yeah.
Weird dude.
Vote them out. Wait.
Well,
wait.
We can't really do that, but
wait.
We need somebody in our government that's going to be strong and stand up to these guys.
Deterrence.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're going to do a segment on that nuclear capability. There's a lot of things happening in the news. A lot of things. It doesn't come to my mind right now, but a lot of things are.
Nuclear power, good. Nuclear war,
bad.
Yeah,
bad
not
for
good.
everybody.
So,
all right, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Take care. Thank you.